Hi, my name is Louis Massetti, and today I'll be going over Destiny 2. It is a first-person shooter with MMO elements. The platforms that it can be played on are PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. It was also available on Stadia, but I took it off because Stadia got discontinued because it wasn't doing so well. But basically, the two game modes in this game are basically PvP and PvE. PvP is basically when you compete with other players. You basically play in competitive modes, like the normal ones, like a team deathmatch, domination, and then for the end game of PvP is called Trials of Osiris. You just get better gear, more perks, and more stats. The PvE side of things, I would say this is the more popular side of this game. I'd say this is more the majority of where they're at. Basically, you engage in the story missions that come out every year with the DLCs, the strikes, the raids, which is the end game, Gambit, which is more of a PvE/PvP, but most people put it in PvE category, and public events and dungeons, which are like three-man raids, which is like a smaller version of raids. The purpose of this game. The purpose of this game is to grow star by acquiring legendary and exotic gear, which are the last two tiers of gear you can get in this game. And basically, you get these for gear from raids, dungeons, and trials in PvE. These are like the three main sources where you can get the best gear. You basically can continue with this very long and very strong story of Destiny by defeating gods in the universe, with many of the DLCs basically going off that premise. You've seen it all the time. The premise of the character you play as is known as the Guardian. He or she is very powerful and resurrected by an advanced piece of technology called a ghost, and then the character must survive and must protect the Earth from threats such as the Hive, the Scorn, the Cabal, the Taken, the Fallen, and the Dread. How the game is played. Players have a choice to choose between three classes at the beginning of the game, like Titan, Warlock, and Hunter. These three roles dramatically change how the characters play the game because of the different abilities and that each one comes with. There are many different weapons in Destiny 2, ranging from primary weapons, special weapons, and heavy weapons. All three of these classes come with many rockets like trace rifles, auto rifles, glaives, hand cannons, bows, rocket launchers, fusion rifles, and there are many more types in this game, but I don't want to go on and on and on about the weapon. The end game of this game is very hard, and people need to get into the groups and communicate with the best loot in the game to succeed at raids, dungeoning, especially Grandmaster Nightfalls. Those are probably the end game. You have to be very with the team. You have to communicate. You have to have it going with basically meta guns, meta gear, so you can survive along and do more damage. Brief history of the game. It was released on September 6, 2007. Five major expansions came after: Forsaken, Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, The Witch Queen, Lightfall, and The Final Shape. The studio behind Destiny is called Bungie, and made one of those other successful shooters, probably that started first-person shooters and everything, Halo. They were owned by Activision, but then they were acquired by Sony. Obviously had a PlayStation in July of 2022. Here are some images. The image in the top right is just like your character creator, what your character looks like, and then the other three images are just combat going around the world and just doing activities. And the first one is just designer of a strike in the game. The players and viewer statistics. This month the game has 40 to 70k 40 to 70k players on each console and obviously on PC. This game does not get many viewers on Twitch every day, but the viewer counts hit the top of Twitch when there are day one raids, major tournaments, or leagues. The only real competitive aspects on a professional level are day one raid races. These raids are an activity of six that goes in completely blind to the raid, mechanics they have to solve, each puzzle in the raid by themselves, or some of them honestly hired coaches to help them figure out these strategies and do it first before other teams do it. The top two teams I would say in this category are Team Parabellum and Team Salta Greppa. These two teams usually take first or second place in every raid race. The future of Destiny, the only thing we know about this time is there's going to be a thing called the New Frontiers. It's basically supposed to be a new way to play the game. And the big thing that they're selling with this one is new exploration. These are my references. Thank you for listening.